Hi everybody, I'm Mamitwing from mamitwing.com, French World of Warcraft fan site. I had the chance to interview Corey Stockton, lead content designer of World of Warcraft. I asked him some question about patch 5.4. Enjoy and sorry for my English. Okay, so first of all, thank you for the opportunity to give me this interview. I'm really happy and proud.
No problem.
So, first question, Corey, can you shortly introduce yourself and describe your job as a lead content designer of World of Warcraft?
Yeah, my name is Corey Stockton. I'm the lead content designer on WoW. And my job, I do a lot of things on WoW. Mainly, I oversee the quest team, the level design team, and our scenario teams. And then Greg Street is our other lead, and he kind of oversees the systems design team and our encounter team. And then other than that, I'm really responsible for a lot of the world creation and development. You know, I do things like the cities and battlegrounds, and I do a lot of design on our dungeons and all that stuff.
Okay, great, thank you. So I will start to talk about patch 5.4, and first question, patch 5.4 is absolutely massive. Is it the biggest patch of Mists of Pandaria or the biggest patch ever?
You know, it's definitely got to be one of our biggest patches ever. To be honest, it's hard to remember a patch that had this much content in it, with this many new features, with things like flexible raids and connected realms, and all these kind of brand new things to do. It's definitely high up there on the list as one of our biggest patches that we've ever done.
Okay, that's cool. And I want to talk about one of the biggest feature that players are waiting for is the connected realms.
Yep.
This feature is supposed to solve the problems of low population realms. Do you think it is the best solution?
Yes, for sure. I think one of the reasons why Connected Realms is so unique is that it's the idea that it's going to be a seamless experience, right? So if you imagine on another game, imagine they're gonna merge two servers together that were low population. That's a kind of a jarring process for the players, right? They could have to change their name because there'll be other players that have the same name. They could possibly have to lose their guild because there can be other guilds with the same name. They might have to reset their guild because they wouldn't be able to keep their guild levels, stuff like that. On top of all of that, they lose their identity as a player, right? If you've been a player that's been on whatever, Tichondrius or Proudmoore or something for like 5 or 6 years, that's how you identify yourself.
Yeah.
So when you merge servers, you lose all that. So with Connected Realms, it really gives us the ability to keep all of that stuff, right? So it's a seamless experience. So it really should feel like these guys are really on the same realm together. They can play with their friends, they can have guilds, they can do, boss fights, all those things that you would expect to do with any other player on your normal realm.
Okay, that's cool. And do you plan to release it first in the US and then in Europe, or US and Europe simultaneously?
I don't know the exact answer to that for you. I'm most likely, we generally try to release all of our things as close to simultaneously worldwide as we can. Connected Realms is a very, very complicated, pretty serious system for us to roll out. So most likely, yeah, it'll probably start in one region and then kind of play out from there. But we'll have to get more info for you on that, and then we can follow up.
Okay. And with connected realms, will I be finally able to send my heirlooms to other realms, or will it not be possible yet?
Well, that still works through our mail system. Oh, you mean as far as like, could you hand it to someone else, or would you be able to mail it?
Yeah, more about mailing.
I still don't think that part will actually work yet, because those items have to actually be converted. Like, envision if you're mailing it to, like, we go through a conversion process when things are sent right now. So if you send from Alliance to Horde, it'll convert the item to the right item for them. So I think there's still a little bit of work there for that to happen, but that's a huge goal that we want to have. We want that to work.
Okay. Because I thought some players found on PTR that it was finally possible, but apparently it won't be.
It very well could be on the PT. The way that we're rolling out Connected Realms is we're rolling it out kind of like as a individual features are working at a time as we go out, right? Like we're starting with a very small number of realms to test it out, and the feature set is being tested slowly over time, right? So different parts of the feature set will work over time as it gets rolled out. Because the feature, will continue to roll out after patch 5.4. It's not same day to day. So that might very well be one of the features that's working on that part. It just might not have worked right when it first started.
Okay, thank you. I will jump now to the legendary quest line, because patch 5.4 will bring the final chapter of Wrathion quest line. It is the first time in WoW's history that every class, every player has an access to a legendary item. Do you think if everybody can get it, will it be less legendary, or will it be still so legendary?
Oh, I think it should still feel very legendary. I mean, the concept of what people have to do to get, obviously it's available to more people, but that doesn't mean that the commitment is any less of a commitment than it was before. It still means that people had to do what was required of them in every patch all the way up through 5.4. Now, granted, we are going to have some catch-up mechanics in 5.4 to help people be able to do content, but it's not like we're shortening the requirement of what they're doing. We're just giving them access to do more of the current content to be able to basically fulfill those requirements. I don't think in any way it should feel less legendary. We're definitely looking at it as a full-on normal legendary item. Because if you think about it, it's over a year of commitment from players, right? That they have gone through this whole process.
Yeah, and do you plan to use the same process for the future legendaries, or you plan to go back to the older system?
We're to be honest, right now we're very happy with the way the system has been playing out. We feel like we've gotten a lot of strong feedback on it. I wouldn't be surprised to see us continue forward with this, but I don't think that means that we wouldn't ever do any legendaries in the old way.
Okay. Thank you. I will now jump to a more controversial topic. It's about the in-game store. A lot of players discovered it through data mining, and there was a pretty huge reaction from the fans. Did you expect it like this?
I'm sure. I think we could definitely say that we expected a reaction just because we hadn't sold specifically cosmetic helms before. But I wouldn't say that we were expecting it to be much different, since we were already selling mounts and pets on the store, which are essentially just cosmetic items.
No, but I'm talking about the elixir and the that they data mined on the PTR about the in-game store.
And those are things that we've already discussed, that they're items that we're potentially going to test with in our Asian regions. We're not even sure exactly which regions we're going to test those in.
Okay.
And we don't really know what the future of those are yet, to be honest. That's something that we need to test in other regions first, because items like that are popular in some other regions, but might not necessarily be as popular in the US or in the EU. So that's the reason why, we would want to test it someplace first and get a feeling for if it feels right for the game, and, is it the right thing to do? But I think that's fine. I mean, that's why it's in the game. It's there for us to give it a shot and take a look.
So I can imagine that the items will be different from one region to another.
We don't even know if those items will actually make it into the game.
Oh.
Those items are something that's designed for a test for us to do. If it ends up being something that works out and we like it, sure, then we could move forward with it. But we just don't know yet. We have to try it out and see what the reaction is, and see if they fit the kit for what we're trying to do.
Okay, great. Thank you. I will now jump to the bad guy, to Garrosh, and to the Horde. Garrosh is one of the main characters of Mist of Pandaria, and Thrall was the main character of Cataclysm. what about the Alliance? Will they have their hour of glory one time?
Well, the Alliance is raiding Orgrimmar and basically killing, trying to get rid of their war chief. So I feel like the Alliance is definitely doing, valiant, awesome stuff for their faction. I don't feel like they're being, sure, the setting is obviously, in Orgrimmar and Horde related, but it doesn't mean that the Alliance are sitting on their butts and not taking part, in any part of this whole process. I think that's just where the storyline has taken us. It's the storyline we've been building up to, like you mentioned, through Cataclysm. And I think players are very engaged in the storyline, and they feel like this is, they feel like they want to take out Garrosh. Is what they want to do. That's the reason why we kind of built up to this raid. We knew this is what the final raid was going to be. We always try to take in mind and make sure that we're developing content that feels appropriate and fun and fitting for both the Alliance and the Horde. I think it just comes in waves. It comes in different cycles. We can't always do everything exactly 50-50.
Yeah, okay, because I was seeing that a lot of players were complaining, yeah, it's only the Horde, and then suddenly we had some beautiful screenshots about Stormwind being attacked from the Horde. Are there some other scenes like this that we can expect in the Siege of Orgrimmar?
There might be, but you're going to have to play Siege of Orgrimmar to find out.
Okay. I want to talk now about the epic Fellfire questline for the Warlocks. We saw that there might be some great Fellfire mounts for the Warlocks in patch 5.4. The players were really excited about those quests. Is there any plan to have other class quests in the near future?
There's not currently any other plans to do something specifically like that. That was definitely, it was very cool, felt great for Warlocks specifically. But those kind of quest lines, as you even saw with that line, we had to roll it out over a number of patches because they take a lot of work, it's a lot of stuff to put in to get one line like that to work for one class. It's something we do feel like is cool content. I think we'd like to explore the options of being able to do lines like that for more classes, but we can't really commit to anything on that yet, just because it's such a time intensive thing to make something like that. Because it's got to be awesome, right? We can't just say we're going to do class quests and then kind of phone it in. They have to be super detailed, great story, fun gameplay, reward has to be great. So it's not something that really feels like it fits for every single individual class. For the Warlock, it was the right time, right place, felt good.
Okay.
But that's kind of the vibe on that.
Okay. About patch 5.4 feature Proving Grounds. Aside achievements, do you plan to maybe reward the players otherwise?
No, we're not looking at doing any rewards for that system outside of achievements. We really feel like it's a place for people to hone their skills, to get a chance to learn new skills. Like if you haven't been a healer before, you could go there and learn how to heal. We don't really feel like it's a place that needs rewards. There are plenty of mechanisms in WoW for players to earn rewards already. So we really don't feel like, we need a reward in there to draw people into it, to try it out. I think it's a really fun thing to do on its own.
Okay. Now about the end of Mist of Pandaria. We saw a lot of stuff that has been data mined during this extension, but that wasn't implemented yet. For example, the defense of the Alehouse battleground or Stormguard Keep scenario. Is there any chance to see them before patch 6.0?
I wouldn't put any bets on it. There are many things that we try out and that we have ideas on, and things that we are working on for sure that we look at. But some of those things can go on for years. Some of those things can make it into a patch. World of Warcraft is a live game, so we're always kind of trying new stuff and trying to come up with things. And that's what you see when when the patch is data mined. It's not like World of Warcraft is a very unique game where the instant a patch is out, it's data mined, and every single thing that's possibly in there can be found. So I think we've just accepted that people are going to see things that we're probably never going to do, but they're in the art or they're in the files just because there's things that we're trying out. It will Defense of the Alehouse happen one day? It very well could totally happen. But I have no idea if it ever will happen. It's just one of those things where we have to iterate on it, get it to a place there it feels good, and then decide that we want to make a time commitment to actually do it.
Okay, and so will be patch 5.4 the last content patch of Mr. Pandaria, or will there be a patch 5.5?
Oh, we don't know what the exact patch will be, but we definitely think there will be one more, small patch that will have some sort of launch event in it before we actually move on to the next expansion. Historically, we have always done that. But nothing's really set in stone, to be honest. Our patch cycle changes based on the needs of our game and on the needs of the players. This is certainly the conclusion to the storyline for Pandaria with Garrosh and everything. Obviously, the raid there. But yeah, I think our current plan is we hope to do one more small patch after this. I don't know the timing. I don't know what the number of it would be. I don't know any of that, but
okay.
We certainly want to do, if you look historically, we've definitely usually done a launch event before the next one.
Okay, so it will be a launch event patch before the next expansion. And now, if you had to take a feature about patch 5.4, which one is your favorite? The most exciting feature?
Oh man, that's tough. I don't know, it's probably between Flexible Raid and Connected Realms. Flexible Raid, super cool because I can do a raid without matchmaking with like 12 people that's got the right difficulty level for me. That feels amazing. I love the concept that I could do that and have really great rewards that are above LFR. In the same vein, Connected Realms is super cool because it can really, fill, empty servers can feel like they're full again and they're full of life and have things going on, but still keep all of the connectivity that they have now. So really, I think those two features are two of the most core awesome things.
Okay, great. And I have now a special question for you, Corey. There are 6 NPC named Stockton in World of Warcraft. Do you plan to invade Azeroth?
I don't. I don't. I didn't know there were 6. Man, that's crazy. That's the thing about all those named NPCs in WoW. No one actually makes their own NPC and names it, because that would be weird. It's always someone else makes it for you and then you find it later. So, but it's cool. I'll take it.
You have to go and to meet them.
For sure.
As I saw that today, there's a new one for Zarheim too, an achievement.
There is. Well, he works really hard on the game, so I think it's about time that he finally gets something in there.
Okay, great. I would have another question if it's possible. It's about
Sure.
the Battle of the Barons that was implemented in patch 5.4. It offered new opportunities for world PvP and quests.
In 5.3, right?
Yeah, 5.3. Sorry.
Okay.
And do you think it's something you want to explore more, to bring more in the future?
Yeah, we really that was definitely experimental. It was something new to try to do world PvE. Obviously, there was some PvP as well. Try it in a new way. Yeah, I think we learned a lot from that. That's something that you could definitely see us maybe do again in the future. I think we feel like it was successful. There were some things that we would change for sure, but in general, I think we were pretty happy with the outcome. Having dynamic events that change, based on the number of players in the area and things like that. I think that was really cool. It's the first time we'd ever really done anything like that, but I think it got a good reaction from players.
Yeah, because at the beginning of Mr. Pandaria, a lot of players were complaining about the massive amount of daily quests. You think that these kind of events could be a good alternative to the daily quests?
Oh yeah, I think we, over time we've just, it's not that we like hate daily quests or something like that, but over time we've learned that there's only a certain amount of daily quests we can ask people to do, and You know, we're really trying to make a transition in the game to get into more discovery, exploration type of content, which you'll see with the Timeless Isle.
Yeah.
And we'll just see where that takes us from here.
Okay, and about the current battle pet system, which improvements you think could be introduced in the near future
For what system?
for battle pet system?
We're really happy with the system. 5.4 offers a new battle pet scenario where you have to fight 6 trainers in a row and you can't heal in between. So that's a completely new type of system for that. As far as the core system goes overall, we don't really feel it's a system that we want to add a lot of necessarily core features to. We really feel it's a content-driven system where we want to add more trainers, more pets, new abilities, new things like that. We really feel like the core of the system is strong. People understand it. It makes sense. I don't think we want to try to get it, keep adding things to it to make it more complicated. I think there's a lot of depth as is. Obviously, we'll tune it and continue to add to it, but I think we're pretty happy with it in general. And like I said, the biggest thing in 5.4 is the pet battle tournament that's on the Timeless Isle.
Yeah, that's great. And I will go now back to Siege of Orgrimmar and the fight against Garrosh. We saw that you plan to introduce new heirlooms that scale from level 90 to level 100 apparently. Do you think you want to bring more of those new heirlooms for the future?
Yeah, we're excited about those heirlooms. I think it's very cool to get a weapon that you can hand down, to another player, especially something like that out of the raid. I think feels like a very cool place for them to come from. We've liked heirlooms for a while, so I think it's just a matter of finding their place in the game, making sure they feel important, they drop in the right place. Having weapons, I think, is obviously especially cool. So yeah, we're excited about them.
Okay, great. I see we only have 60 seconds, so maybe a last word to say to all the World of Warcraft fans.
I would just say that we're super excited that we still have such a huge, awesome fan base. More than anything, we make the game, for our fans. We listen to the fans. We talk to them all the time. World of Warcraft wouldn't really exist without our player base. We have the best group of fans any game in the world by far. So I would just say thank you to everyone for playing the game, and as long as you guys keep playing the game, we'll keep making content for it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Corey.
Yep, you're welcome.
And yeah, then good luck for the rest of the day and see you in Germany for Gamescom.
All right, sounds good.